Today, we'll dive into a few simple tips for real-life lighting scenarios. Ideally, you want to shoot during the magic hours, golden hour and blue hour. This is when everything looks the most magical. Photographers are constantly on the search for the holy grail of perfect lighting, and the Sun Tracker makes sure you've got the best chance of finding it. Find out exactly when golden hour is, right down to the minute. We'll walk you through the tools available to you within the app, as well as specific tips for shooting in each lighting scenario to help you achieve magical photos, even if you are just shooting in your own backyard. Let's start with golden hour. There's something about this time of day that has the effect of making everything look radiant in the kind of light that just trips a sense of warmth in the depths of your heart. Who knows why, but we do know that it triggers nostalgia, happiness, and all the warm fuzzies. You even get these little halos of light around your subject when you position them right. When shooting during golden hour, make sure to keep the sun behind or next to your subjects. It can be tricky finding the balance that brings enough light to your subjects while also lighting the background. So just bring down the light meter a couple of stops so you have enough detail to work with in Lightroom. And remember to always shoot in RAW. Blue hour is the period of twilight in the evening, just before dark or just before sunrise in the morning. The soft sunlight that refracts and diffuses through the atmosphere at these times takes on a predominantly blue hue, casting a wonderful luminosity onto your subjects. The light is even, glowy, and super beautiful. The deceptive thing about blue hour is that it often lasts for a frustratingly fleeting amount of time, less than an hour, and if you're hoping to capture the dreamy, ethereal qualities that blue hour has to offer, you've got to be quick. Also, you'll need to bump the ISO and open up the aperture so that you can bring as much light into your camera as possible. Sometimes this can add a bit of noise to your photos. Make sure you're using the right white balance settings. Your camera might automatically want to cancel out the blue. If you're in a pinch, check out a camera settings guide. Sometimes you find yourself shooting at noon, and having to make people look good with a squint can be a real sticking point. But shooting in full sun has its benefits too. It has a high contrast vibe about it and can make for some really interesting shadow play. Have your subjects turn their faces towards the sky, close their eyes, or shade them with their hands. The shade of trees, awnings, or shadowed sides of buildings are all great for cutting out that harsh midday contrast and giving you that nice even light. It helps to backlight your subjects, and unless you're smack bang on the equator, the sun will be slightly angled north or south to make this possible. Try getting a little lower or putting your subject in between you and the sun. Hot tip? Hold your hand up to the light and see how it falls. Are there shadows between your fingers? It can take a bit of practice to get your eye in, but it's definitely worth learning to tune in to the slight changes of light. Shooting indoors can be a challenge, but it can also be really empowering. Each interior space is different, but as in-home sessions grow in popularity, people are realizing the benefits of shooting in the comfort of their own homes. Typically, there's a lot less light indoors than out, so opening up your aperture, bumping your ISO, and slowing down your shutter speed as much as possible without motion blur will help you get the shot you need without a tripod. Make the most of window light and position your subject directly next to it. If the light coming through the window is harsh, use curtains or blinds to diffuse it. With so many variables in light from room to room at different times of day, make sure to get your clients to send you photos of where the light is good in their house and to note down times. It's easy to forget about white balance and aperture settings with so many other details to keep track of during a session. That's why Unscripted created a quick go-to guide that has ideal camera settings accessible in a pinch. From golden hour and blue hour to full sun and sparkler exit, you'll never be fumbling around with your camera controls again. Using these techniques will help you cultivate the portfolio of your dreams and attract your ideal clients and help you build a business that supports you. And if you want to know the key to posing families, don't forget to check out our next video.